Hello YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharita and welcome. And in today's video, we are getting into my official list of spring recommendations. I don't think I have ever been so excited to bring you all a spring list. I have added so many beautiful fragrances into my collection over the past couple months, and I hoard them for, big videos like this. But all in all, I am really happy with the releases for 2025 this year. Now, not all of these are, of course, going to be releases from 2025. Some are a little older, but they are pretty much all new to me in my collection. We have two that I'm on the fence about, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. All right, you guys, so before we start, let me know if you are interested in seeing a cheapies version of this video, because the list I have for you today, it is a good mix of some moderately priced, designers, Sephora pickups as well, and of course some really high-end niche purchases. So the first one I want to get into, y'all, when I say I had such high hopes for this fragrance and the notes just really spoke to me, but let this be proof that it doesn't matter what the notes say, it does not really reflect what you're going to get in the juice all the time. And we are talking about Ruby from the house of Kajal. Now, I have a couple of Kajal fragrances in my collection. Overall, I just really do like their more feminine leaning fragrances, and when they announced this one, it was like, okay, I don't have anything gourmand from Kajal and I need it. Blind bought it. So this is a cherry fragrance, no doubt, and it is definitely giving cherry, but I find that this really doesn't give me all the gourmand facets that the notes would suggest. So this opens with notes of pineapple, red berries, cherry, coconut, almond. You have middle notes of brown sugar, whipped cream, ice cream, and you have base notes of amber, tonka bean, musk, vanilla, and benzoin. So I will go ahead and say that on paper, this wears so much better than it does on my skin. So this is one you're just gonna have to try it for yourself. But when I got it, I immediately sprayed it on my skin and I was hit with a truly medicinal cherry, which was shocking to me because a lot of people get that from cherry. I almost never get medicinal from cherry. I have maybe once, and I have a lot of cherries in my collection. It's just a note that typically doesn't go that way, but this one opened with the loudest, brightest cherry on my skin. On paper, not as sharp and not as medicinal. On paper, I'm getting something a little fluffy, musky, very cherry. This is cherry through and through. You're gonna get cherry all the way in the final dry down of this scent. But overall, what I am getting is something that smells cherry, musky, powdery. Okay, I get a little bit of coconut. It's very red berry, and like this hint of vanilla in the final dry down. You're gonna get a lot more vanilla, but the whole middle section, this ice cream, this brown sugar, this whipped cream, I'm really not getting that. I am just a little disappointed with this one. Again, one you're probably going to have to try for yourself, because I was just underwhelmed at what I got, and unfortunately to me, it actually smells a little cheap. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, $250. I'm not happy, okay? So we're gonna give this one a little bit more time to macerate, do its thing, because this is a brand spanking new release. And I just find that typically things with, vanilla, gourmand notes, sometimes they really do just need a little bit of time to kind of come together to create this richness that we expect from fragrances like this. I'm not really getting that. I'm getting something musky, cherry, vanilla, and that's about it. So on the fence, and we're just gonna give this one some time, but so far I'm not impressed. So this next one is a like, okay? It's a very pricey like, so it really does need to be a love for it to stay in my collection, but I'm not disappointed. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm really going to wear this one and will this turn into a love. This is Spiky Muse, and this is from the house of Nihilo, brand new release, which means I paid full price, which means it was expensive. So Spiky Muse is from the nose of Louise Turner. Louise Turner also did Possibilities. She's also done a lot of really popular fragrances. Your Blanche Betts, Lost Cherry. She really does know how to give us a fantastic fragrance. But for me, what I'm getting from this, it literally smells like a fresh version of Possibilities. That is what I'm getting. So if you're not familiar, Possibilities is rose. I think there's a little bit of freesia or some other white florals in there, but it's predominantly a really spicy rose with lots of akigala wood, and it's sweet, okay? So this too too is a rose fragrance. And this too has a lot of Akigala wood, which I do enjoy that note, but this just seems like it's missing something. It is bright, it's fresh, but also very woody rose. That's what you're going to get from here. And I feel like if it was just a touch of sweetness, something is just, it's not coming together for me to give me a scent that I love. It is a like, I don't hate it, I don't dislike it, but I don't know. I was expecting something just a little bit different and not this. So this opens with top notes of strawberry, bergamot, pink pepper. You have middle notes of rose, pistachio, and you have base notes of Akigala wood and brofix, cedar wood, and tonka bean. I think for me, if I could really get the strawberry, if I was really getting, you know, a real hint of that pistachio, it would make a difference. I'm getting something very Ambroxan, Akigala wood, rose, touch of bergamot, touch of pink pepper, and that is all she wrote. So definitely a try before you buy. I much prefer the scent of possibilities, but again, this is a much brighter and fresher take on a scent like that. But again, from the same nose, the rose, the Akigala wood, like I'm not shocked that they have some similarities, but this one is just, we're on the fence. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. We're on the fence. All right, so the rest of the fragrances on this here list, banger. Okay, love. So this first one I want to get into is a really unique vanilla in my collection, and you know I got a lot of them. And this is pretty much an episode of the Perfumes, Chris and Jack's Beautiful You Made Me Buy It. Okay, first of all, I probably heard them talk about this scent within about 3 days of each other. Both of them vanilla girlies, and they both seem to love it. So I went right on ahead and blind bought it, and so happy with this purchase. And this is from a newer house to me, FLEURIT, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but I'm going to say Gâteau d'Ange. I'm not the best French speaker, but this is very like fluffy, cloudy take on vanilla. It's almost ethereal. Like this is so heavenly, and if I'm not mistaken, this is supposed to be kind of like a take on angel food cake but in a fragrance, and that is exactly the vibe that it is giving. So this has a really unique composition of notes, and so it's no surprise that it wears in just that way, very unique. It opens with whiskey, butter, peach, and lemon. You have middle notes of caramel, musk, honeysuckle, and you have base notes of tuberose, vanilla, and gourmand accord. This is my very first time actually looking at the notes. I don't get really anything whiskey or buttery. Like reading the notes, you're going to think that it is going to be a really heavy, thick wearing fragrance that you would put into fall, winter. This is very much so giving, I can wear this vanilla in the winter because there's a cozy element to it, and I can wear this vanilla in a 90-degree Georgia weather. It is so fluffy, you guys. So I know you're looking at the notes wondering, is it going to remind me of Blanche Bet? Not at all, in my opinion. The tuberose does not stand out as much as it does in Blanche Bet, but this is so beautiful. It's almost like, yeah, this is really giving angel food cake, you guys. So if you are in the market for a very sophisticated gourmand that is very, you know, vanilla forward, very fluffy, lighter wearing, more like scent bubble, but just moderate performance, I would say, here you go. It is so beautiful, and if you're looking for a unique add to your collection, I think this would be a wonderful one to check out. All right, again, this is Gâteau d'Ange, and this is from FLEURIT Perfumes. So this next one is from the house of MICALLEF, and this too is a lighter wearing airy gourmand that is going to work perfect for spring, and this is Pistachio Chic. This fragrance is absolutely gorgeous. They sent this one to me, you know, as a gift in PR, along with another one. The other one really was giving me like these Tom Ford bitter peach vibes with a bunch of patchouli, so that one did not quite work out for me. But this one, OMG, I love at first sniff. So Pistachio Chic is just that. It is definitely a pistachio fragrance, and if you are not familiar with really how that wears, it is absolutely a lighter wearing nutty note compared to other nutty notes in fragrances like hazelnut, chestnut, peanut, almond. They wear with a heft to them a lot of the times, and it really makes it smell nutty. Pistachio does not wear that way, and it's somewhat like that in real life. It's a milder tasting nut, and this just comes off as so classy. This is for the girl who loves a sweet, classy gourmand that is not foodie and that really does wear with some sophistication. So this one opens with lavender, coconut, pear, and bergamot. You have middle notes of pistachio, and you have base notes of woody notes and musk. So this one wears with definitely this beautifully done sweet coconut, gorgeous pistachio, and it's musky, just a touch green. And when I say green, literally just from the vibe of the pistachio. So don't think sharp, dominant, prominent green notes. It doesn't have that. The lavender, very, very, very faint. Okay, so you don't have to fear the fact that it has that lavender in the top. It's sweet. It's, oh God, it's just beautiful. It is just beautiful. Only available in the 30 ml. Unfortunately, they have a whole gourmand range, and I'm dying to try some others because I was just really impressed with how this one wears. And I think as far as in MICALLEF, I only have this one and one other that's considered a gourmand. So I would love to add more because this house is just classy. It is French, classy perfumery personified. And this one is, you know, just another testament to the craftsmanship, the quality that they put into each and every fragrance. All right. So this one again is Pistachio Chic. This next one is absolutely going to be a super boozy, sexy one. Date night only. Okay. Those are the vibes we're giving. This one also is a little unisex. When I tell you I sampled it and I had to get me a bottle, I don't know truly how to pronounce the name of this house. I'm guessing it's BLNDRGRPHY. I don't know, because basically it's blender with the vowels taken out, and I'm going to assume it's the same way for graphy. So BLNDRGRPHY. But the name of the perfume is Santal Painkiller. If anyone knows how to pronounce the name of this house, please enlighten me in the comments because I don't know. First of all, the packaging for this fragrance was what in the world? Like, the cap is not actual cement, but it feels like cement. It looks like cement, but it's lighter. So I'm guessing it's just some kind of resin that was done in a very particular way. But it had the most amazing, like, sturdy wooden box that it came in with a cocktail shaker. So this house, the entire range is basically this play on cocktails, mixology. And I tried vanilla mudslide. It was a mudslide vanilla. I liked it. I didn't feel compelled to add a full bottle. This one, I was just like, add to cart. It was absolutely beautiful. So Santal Painkiller is really a pineapple forward fragrance that wears very unique to any of the others I have in my collection. I really don't have any boozy pineapples. I've got some sexy pineapples, but this one is absolutely rum forward. So if you're someone that puts on a fragrance that has a really prominent rum note and you think it automatically just makes it lean a little too masculine, typically try this one first. Do not blind buy it, but this is so unisex. It is so good. And if you love a good rum forward fragrance, you need to get your nose on this scent. So this opens with cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon. You have middle notes of plum, coconut, pineapple, and you have base notes of rum, isoe super, and broxin and cade oil. This is so spicy and sexy. Stop. Like, stop. Plum, rum, automatically sexy. Then you have these gorgeous spices that they mentioned in the top. It performs because you've got the ambroxan and isoe super. I mean, if you are looking for a standout pineapple scent, this one you absolutely have to try. ZGO, I think, is where I got my sample from and spun the block to go ahead and get the full bottle. So check the description box below because this is one you need to try. Okay, you really do if you are into boozy fragrances and you love a sexy pineapple and plum. Okay, again, this one is Santal Painkiller. So this next fragrance I haven't had long, but baby, when I tell you, it already has a dent, and this is just an absolute love for me. This is from the house of Donna Karan, and this is Cashmere and Vanilla Essence. So if you love Cashmere and Palo Santo, chances are you're going to love this one, but they do wear differently, even though of course they're going to bear some similarities because Cashmere Palo Santo has lots of cashmere, it's got lots of vanilla, and it wears in a very ambery way. This one also has that very distinct Donna Karan cashmere note. It has lots of vanilla, even more vanilla, and it is very ambery as well. So if you need both, I don't know, I would suggest you smell it first, but this is what I'm picking up as far as the differences. First of all, it's not going to be woody. You don't have the Palo Santo, so this wears even more feminine than Cashmere Palo Santo. A lot of people think that that one wore really unisex. I thought it was so sweet and very vanilla forward, and it just seemed feminine to me. A lot of people found it to be maybe even a little masculine leaning unisex. This is very feminine, okay? You're going to get the comfort of all that beautiful, cozy cashmere, but you also have a very elegant jasmine. You've got a very ambery vanilla. And the way this wears is so sweet, but it doesn't get too heavy. I feel like Cashmere, it's like it hits you in the face. It's like, boom, here we are, fall, winter. Even though I do wear that one all year, this is absolutely going to be better suited for spring and summer. This is your spring and summer Donna Karan obsession right here. So this opens with pink pepper and apple. You have middle notes of violet, jasmine, and you have base notes of vanilla, sandalwood, and amber. So I said it wasn't quite woody. I mean, it does have sandalwood, but this wears like a creamy sandalwood to me. And this probably what's giving it like the cashmere vibe, because you don't actually have a cashmere note listed in this note breakdown, but it does wear a bit powdery, very ambery vanilla. You're going to get that so much throughout this scent. Again, that powdery quality that you're getting from the violet, the femininity of that jasmine, again, giving you something very sweet, but also very feminine. You do get a touch of the green apple in the opening. When I really wear it on my skin, it comes through, and it really does lend to this bright, happier version of the two. The pink pepper is very slight, just giving it a little, you know, a little sexy nudge, like so many of the Donna Karens seem to have, the ones that I've smelled anyway. But this is such a love for me, and I cannot wait to just wear this one out. It's going to layer with everything in your collection. I'm telling you, this is one you really do need to try. If the first, you know, Cashmere Palo Santo didn't work out for you, or if you're a lover of that one, I just think that if you love vanilla fragrances, you probably will vibe with it. Love, 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 love. All right. So again, this one is Cashmere and Vanilla Essence from Donna Karan. Next is going to be a budget-friendly option that you can pick up right at Sephora. And this is actually a citrus scent that really does work well for me. Now, I will say oftentimes prominent, like dominant citrus fragrances can be tough for me, but typically not when it's dealing with an orange. So Clementine Dream was just an immediate yes for me. Oh my God, it's so bright, it's sparkling, it's sweet. It's so beautiful. And I just think if you're looking for an easy grab and go, fresh, citrusy scent that's feminine, you absolutely need to give this one a try. So this one is from the House of the Seven Virtues, and Clementine Dream opens with notes of clementine, blackcurrant. You have middle notes of magnolia, and you have a base note of vanilla. So yes, it is sweet because it's got a gorgeous vanilla base to it, and you really do get that. This, thank goodness, is a citrus vanilla that has no lemon, no lime, no none of that mentioned. And that's probably why it was just an instant love for me, okay? And I also like the fact that they didn't give us, you know, something we see a lot, the orange with the neroli. Like they gave us a magnolia. And it, again, just gives it a gorgeous feminine quality. If you're looking for a beautiful citrus vanilla fragrance that's just a little different to all the others that we seem to be getting on the market right now, that wears with ease, again, really bright and fun, but also with a touch of sophistication with that magnolia, really suggest you check this one out, you know, at your Sephora. Again, this one is Clementine Dream, and this is from the Seven Virtues. Next up is from the House of Xerjoff. This was a blind buy, and just the bottle alone really had me thinking about buying this one a long time ago when it first dropped, but the price point made me say absolutely not. But baby, when it came to Joma Shop and one of my subscribers said that it's at this price point, here you go, I bought it. I just bought it. It was risky, but oh my God, when I tell you ELLE Anniversary is so beautiful. If you're looking for a gorgeous fruity floral with lots of sophistication, sweet, bright, but also sexy, then this is one you need to check out. Don't confuse this one with the original ELLE. They seem to have very different notes. This opens with red fruits, lychee, green apple, bergamot. You have middle notes of peony, jasmine, cashmere wood, licorice, and you have base notes of musk, amber, sandalwood, and patchouli. So for me personally, I really do feel like that patchouli is there. It's giving it an earthy feel, even though it doesn't like overtake the scent or make it smell dirty or anything like that. It is really lending to the amazing performance of a fruity and, you know, floral scent for sure. You're going to get a lot of red fruits. I feel like that is what this scent is really about. Red fruits, cashmere, that patchouli. You do get a little bit of that licorice. The licorice in this fragrance fragrance really does come off the same way that it does in Mon Guerlain. So if you feel like that was something that really threw you off from liking the original Mon Guerlain, don't blind buy it, because you do get the licorice. But to me, it just lends to the beautiful complexity of this, because this is a scent that could have gone very flat, run-of-the-mill really easily, but that cashmere, the way they have carried out the patchouli in this fragrance, the bright, delicious burst of red berries just popping everywhere, and that licorice, it just makes it so divine. Again, wears with a lot of presence. So if you're wanting a really versatile fruity floral fragrance, date night appropriate, okay, because it is very sexy, but it wears with that class, so you can wear it to work, you can wear it to church. I just think that this is one that is going to be such a stunner for spring and summer, but that wears with some depth. That's how I describe it. It is such a love for me. And again, this one is ELLE Anniversary Edition from the house of Xerjoff. So this next one is going to be for my floral lovers, particularly white florals. When I tell you I was shooketh when I tried this fragrance, beautiful Inez, girl, thank you if you are watching this. She offered to give me my very first full bottle of a bold fragrance. And basically, this is one of the most classy, elegant white florals that doesn't wear with this like air of boredom. It's not overly sharp. It's not going to give you a headache. I just haven't smelled a white floral carried out in such a sophisticated, well done way. Balanced, I mean, just balanced. It's just top tier. I'm trying to describe it, but it really is leaving me a touch speechless, because I'm like gobsmacked. We shared a kiki about this one in the DMs, and I told her that when I wear this, because I wore it 4 days in a row after I got it. It's my sense of the day yesterday when I went out. This makes me feel like I should be on someone's boat, just gliding through the waters of Lake Como. This gives that, okay? This is not just your typical white floral fragrance. I really need you to understand that. And it's just one you have to smell to understand the vibe. Rich, classy, elegant, sophisticated, top tier. That is what I get from this fragrance. So this one opens with a very gorgeous, dewy gardenia. I mean, it's slightly sweet. It has some neroli in there and a Merlot wine accord, giving it, again, that classy and unique take on a white floral. You also have notes like cashmere, jasmine, raindrops, sweet pear, oak wood, and Napa leather. The leather, you don't pick up on leather, but when you smell this, you're just going to be like, why does this smell so good? Why does it not smell like any other white floral I've ever put my nose on? The Merlot, the Napa leather, the sweet pear, the raindrop. Girl, just get a sample. Just get a sample. If you love gardenia, I rarely say this, okay? I rarely say this, but you could blind buy this fragrance without fear of it being just a complete fail if you love gardenia, okay? If you love just like a bright pear, it's not syrupy sweet, but it's not crisp. It's kind of just giving it a touch of sweetness and a little fruitiness. It is so luminous. It's everything you want to smell like for spring. This is spring at Lake Como in a bottle. And the sun is so bright, just glistening off your skin. It's a perfect like 65 degrees out there. I mean, this is just a perfect fragrance. This is a 10 out of 10 white floral, and I'm just in love, madly in love with this scent. All right. So again, this one is Ave Maria, and this is from the house of BoBo. This next one is very unisex, and when I say just like true androgyny, I cannot with this fragrance, but it is so beautiful. This too was gifted to me in PR. Henry Rose reached out to me and they said they had a new fragrance coming. Would I like to try it? I've never tried anything from this brand, so I didn't know what to expect. But baby, when I tell you, you can pick up some quality from Sephora. This is so beautiful. So this is a very sweet chantilly take on a vanilla that definitely gives you unisex vibes, because it has this touch of lavender in there. And don't think lavender done to the level of like a Mon Guerlain or Libre or anything like that. Not even Burberry Regattas. The lavender is done even more dialed back than those, but this is so well blended and it's very almond forward. So if you love the idea of something sweet, I would say this wears, to me, just like almost like a wood that doesn't go too heavy or overpower the scent. It's almost like if you could envision something like a White Woods accord in there, but it opens with neroli, tangerine, pink pepper. You have middle notes of almond blossom, lavender extract, and orange, and you have base notes of chantilly cream, vanilla bean, tonka, and cacao shell. So the lavender is giving it, I would say, like that aromatic unisex vibe, but it doesn't get overly masculine, and the lavender doesn't come off as anything astringent in cleaning products to me, because lavender can do that. And I just think that this is so well done. We are starting to see a lot of lavender pop up on the scene, lavender, vanilla, but I just think this is one that was really well done. I let my daughter smell this and she said, it smells like a cologne and a perfume in one. So she loves it. I love it. And not only do I wear it, I also like to use this as a room spray because there is just a beautiful freshness about it. It's a sweetness about it. It's like I want my home to smell like it, but at the same time, I also don't mind wearing this as a scent. Beautiful release from the house, and I'm really happy to have this one. You can see it already has like a little dent, but again, check this one out, you guys. I think if you love vanilla fragrances, this is a unique one that you would probably need in your collection. All right, so this one again is Dave, and this is from the house of Henry Rose. So this next one is not a new release, probably at least a year old, and I had this one for a while. I took it out of the box, I sprayed it. I was like, okay, this is green. This is not gonna be for me. Probably won't get much wear of it. Put it back. I was like, you know what? Let me retry this before I decide to like declutter it, keep it. Let me just revisit. When I put this on my skin, I don't know if it was just a bad day, my note, like, I don't know, but this smells so beautiful. This is why you really do have to spin the block on a fragrance multiple times before you decide to declutter it. Vow Factor. So this is definitely green, but this is all about the galbanum in this fragrance. So if you just do not like that note, probably not gonna be for you. But if you love that note in a fragrance, you're looking for something green, but not sharp, sweet, feminine, powdery. I'm sorry, this is from the house of Snif. I forgot to say that. Truly a unique perfume. So many of my Snifs are unique additions to my collection, you guys. Like, that is a house you need to dive into if you're looking to get into niche, but you want it to be wearable, because they have a unique spin and take on every last one of the fragrances that they put out. So Vow Factor opens with notes of fig, galbanum, mandarin orange. You have middle notes of neroli, rose, and orris, and you have base notes of ambrette, cedarwood, and tonka bean. So the orris, again, giving a very luxurious powdery quality and a feminine touch for sure. The fig wears a little green to me. Like, this is a greener take on fig for sure, because this is absolutely a green fragrance, but baby, that galbanum, oh my God, so beautiful. The neroli is definitely shining in this fragrance. I think if you love neroli, if you love green scents, you know, if you want that touch of fig, powdery, sweet, I think you would love it. The ambrette is probably what is like just really doing it for me. Again, this is so well executed. I'm so glad I did not just smell this and just instantly give it away. Also, the day I got this, I was sniffing and smelling like 10 other fragrances. Also, another bad idea to make any decision about a fragrance when you're smelling all of the things. Love it. Okay, Vow Factor, get your nose on this one. They should have these in like the sample sizes, but a gorgeous fragrance. And I would love to have this in a candle. Okay, I think I might pick that one up. All right, Vow Factor, again, from the house of Snif. Next up is from the house of Ex Nihilo as well, but this one was a sample and automatic. I need a full bottle. This is Blue Talisman. For the longest, I wanted to believe that this is going to be something that just wore super masculine. I don't know why. Maybe the color of the bottle, but this, it is so good. To me, this is going to be reminiscent of Bois Imperial. If you could imagine that like as the base, but this is going to wear sweeter, a lot more citrus forward, a less of that super like fresh, spicy, aromatic basil, you know, that Bois Imperial has, if you've ever smelled that. This is about Akigala wood, citruses, it's bright, it's clean, but at the same time, it's a little sweet and addictive. OMG. Like, this is masterpiece, fresh citrusy fragrance that has some depth and some character. Like, I don't mind a fresh fragrance if they're gonna come like this, but again, very unisex. Anyone could put this on and just smell amazing. It's not a new release. I think this one came out in 2023, but a stunner. Okay, if you have not tried this one, please get a sample. Absolutely a 10 out of 10 fresh fragrance. So this opens with pear, bergamot, mandarin orange, and ginger. You have middle notes of orange blossom, Georgie wood. You have base notes of ambrophix, musk, akigala wood, and cedar. The Georgie wood, okay, gives it a clean woody vibe, lending to the freshness. It doesn't come off as something overly floral, so don't let the orange blossom scare you. This is very much so about the base notes and about the citrus. That is what you're going to get. Again, 10s across the board for this one. So happy to have this one in my collection now, finally. And this one again is Blue Talisman from the House of X Nihilo. Next is one of the most gorgeous, luxurious vanilla fragrances that actually gives me remnants of my most expensive vanilla, which was 600 plus in my collection. And this is a fraction of the price, but this is also giving like a spring and summer take on that. So this is Vanille de Tahiti, and this is the X Straight. Now, I don't have or have I ever smelled the original version of this. I only know the X Straight, and this is giving you the same amber vanilla. Like the way the amber and vanilla are done in here comes off very similarly to the way it is done in Guerlain's Vanille Planifolia X Straight. And I was not expecting that, but when I smelled it, I was just like, oh my God. And for less than half the price, I think this is around like 300 if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little less, but so luxurious. This is going to take you into that realm of, you know, florals and spring and summer because it's got a lot of ylang in there. And it also has champaca, which is going to give it, you know, just this exotic flair about it as far as the way the florals wear. So this opens with champaca, ylang, and magnolia. You have middle notes of Tahitian vanilla, and you have base notes of amber, musk, and sandalwood. I just think that if you love that Guerlain fragrance, you want a summer version of it, you know, without the spiciness, with those florals added, like swap those elements out. Here you go. Wears so beautifully, very long lasting, and I am obsessed with this fragrance. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is from the House of Perris Monte Carlo. So this next one is not a new release, but it's new to me, and it is a more amplified version, in my opinion, of another fragrance that I have in my collection. So this is Carner Barcelona's BoBo. And when I smelled this, I was immediately reminded of Parade by Celine. Now, the Celine fragrance is very feminine. It's unisex, but it is leaning feminine to me. This one is maybe leaning just a hair masculine, but they wear very similarly, and this one wears with a lot more punch, like oomph to it. And I said, why do they remind me of each other? Let me look at the notes. And they do bear some very similar notes in the breakdown. So this opens with bergamot, mandarin orange, and blackcurrant. You have middle notes of African orange flower, Indian jasmine, lily of the valley, and you have base notes of musk, vetiver, and amber. So both of the fragrances have the vetiver, they've got the citrus, they have the neroli, they have the musk, and the way that they're carried out in both of the fragrances will definitely give you some remnants of those. So you probably don't need both, but if you don't have either, if you want something that wears with just a little bit more presence, I would say go for this one. But they are both so beautiful. A neroli, citrus, vetiver, classy scent that I can really get down with. Again, this one is BoBo, and this is from the House of Carner Barcelona. They do class and fresh fragrances really, really well, okay? So check this one out for sure. Last but certainly not least on the spring lineup, I had to put my girl Valaya EXCLUSIF on this list because this is spring, feminine, but very confident, you know, in a bottle. This is going to be a powdery version of Valaya, and now that mine has had time to sit, this wears stronger than it initially did when I first got it. It was never a slouch. It was always a really good performer, but just not quite as loud as Valaya, the original. But Valaya EXCLUSIF is probably going to be the one I prefer over the two, just because it's even more feminine and there is a softness about it. Whereas I feel like there is nothing soft about Valaya, even though it is feminine, it's very fresh, citrus, bright, all those things. Some people thinks it leaned actually quite unisex. Some people even thinks it leaned a little masculine masculine, but this one, this is Valaya in a softer way. Like, they really have given us a Valaya that is more versatile, that is easier to wear. Like, I don't have to put as much thought in it because Valaya is such a powerhouse. You really have to be going somewhere where you're okay with filling the room, pretty much. Not so much this one. People are definitely going to smell you. Like, this is not giving scent bubble at all, but they're not going to smell you like down the hallway like they do with the original. So I do have a dedicated review on this one, so I'm not going to get too deep into the woods, you know, about the details of it. Check it out if you are interested, if you don't know anything about this fragrance. But this one opens with almond, mandarin. You have middle notes of powdery notes, orange blossom, white flowers. You have base notes of vanilla, akigala wood, sandalwood, and ambroxan. So I feel like the ambroxan and the akigala wood are toned down. Both of those are toned down a bit in this fragrance. This one does not wear with that loud musky quality like the original one. Again, the powdery notes makes it softer, creamier. I'm still getting just like this touch of white peach. I know they don't mention that in this one, but something about this wears fruity in a way that is not all mandarin, if that makes any sense. So beautiful fragrance. I don't get a whole lot of almonds. Some people do. I really don't get that, but this is signature scent, confident, very classy lady, elegant, but she wants people to smell her. That is what I would classify this as. Gorgeous release from Parfums de Marly. And I just think that anyone who is looking for a gorgeous musky fragrance, you know, with some fresh, bright fruitiness and just a touch of spicy, then you really do need to get your sample and try this one out. Again, this one is Valaya Exclusive by Parfums de Marly, the perfect addition to any spring collection. All right, you guys, so that is it for me today. I hope you really did enjoy this very long video. I know we had a lot to get through, and I really did want to give you a lot of detail about these, so it went a little long, but that's just what we do when we have 15 fragrances. So you guys, thank you so much. Be sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Drop me a line below and let me know what has intrigued you about this here spring list. So many of these are complete obsessions, so I look forward to sharing them more with you all throughout spring and summer. It has been real. I love you all, YouTube. Make sure that you are subscribed, and I will catch you guys on the next one.